Hey everyone, I'm Kenator and welcome to Dyson Sphere Program. This fantastic galaxy-spanning factory game has just launched early access and is already a big hit with its players, including me. But I have some must-have tips to help you out in your journey to build a Dyson Sphere. Now let's get to it. Starting out, keep an eye on your Mech Power level. If you run out, you will move very slowly and be unable to fly if you have it unlocked. You can use the hydrogen fuel rods at the start to get some hassle-free time to get going, but after that, an easy way of power will be to use plant fuel and logs from trees and bushes, as you'll be clearing these out for more build space. You can simply press C to bring up your mech's fuel window and drag these items in. Later on in the game, you'll be able to build more advanced power transmission towers. While these are great for linking power across longer distances, they also serve as mech recharge stations, just by standing next to them, using your base power to recharge your mech. At the start, you'll be building quite a few wind turbines, so make sure you start building these away from your main build area. Don't worry if you get any placement wrong, you can always remove them and replace them with no cost. I found an efficient method of laying these out in this triangular pattern, as they have a circular radius that needs to be kept clear, but only at a certain height. You can still run belts around the bases of them. Another thing the game explains but people miss all the time is going off grid with your mining machines. When placing, you usually press R to rotate in 90-degree increments, but if you hold shift you can both place off the grid and rotate in fine increments. This is perfect for getting extra nodes. When connecting belts to your building, you must use a sorter. It's direction dependent on where you start. To pull from a conveyor, for example, you must start at the conveyor and end at the building. You will find most buildings have multiple connection slots, and on some multiple sides, so plan accordingly. You can grab things off of 3 belts deep. Note however, when grabbing from further belts, you will decrease the efficiency of the sorter. You can offset this by using the correct level of sorter. There are 3 available as you progress through the game: yellow, green and blue, and they unlock quite early on. You can tell which one you need by hovering over the recipe. In this example, I need 10 resources every 10 seconds, or 1 every second. Clicking on the sorter, we see its speed, and the nearest belt is fine and exceeds the speed we need. The second and third belts, however, do not. Moving up to the green sorter, we can see the speed has doubled and fills our need on all 3 lengths. And just to show you the speed, once again doubles on the blue ones. These are helpful for emptying or filling lines in and out of storage. One extra last bit about sorters: the output of the sorters can be specified by pressing tab when placing them. This way you can keep multiple outputs from one building separate. Conveyor lines are the lifelines of your factory, as you know, but many coming from Factorio may end up running many lines on the ground. Using the arrow keys you can elevate those lines and stack them vertically if you want. Another good tip is when going around corners, the game will try to auto choose the direction for you, and this may not be what you want. Just press R to rotate the corner to the other way. Belts also have 3 speed options as you tech up, but no matter what the speed, a mining machine will only supply so much ore. So when you have the faster belts, you can simplify your factory by combining lines to have a single faster line be more full. The standard conveyor will move 6 items a second. The second tier in green will double that to 12, and the final blue tier will transport a whopping 30 items a second. You can also run lines into another line without issue, but the original line will always take priority. If you want to split a line, you can use a splitter. These are great once you know that you can press tab while placing and you actually shift its side ports around. You start with the basic 4-way, 1 press of tab to get stacked inline ports, and tab again will raise the 2 side ports. Very useful if you want to split over another line. Another thing to keep in mind is that splitters can prioritize its different outputs as well. Another thing that will help you sorting your own inventory as well as at the start of the game is that you can pick up and place down items to and from conveyor belts. Just click the belt and a small window pops up, and you either click to pick up a resource or drop items here. Although when dropping, it's 1 at a time, so a stack of 100 will take you 100 clicks, for example. The grid. Each planet has one, and they are likely to cause people no end of issues. Why? Because everything tapers towards the poles. This can be great when making circular factories at the poles, but look out for where the grid changes in its stepping, as it will cause small jinks or steps in your conveyors, and you may not be able to continue running straight lines. Your mech has drones that place objects down for you, and they have a set number and speed. So the further you are away from what you are placing, the longer it will take when running long conveyors. It's best to walk along with it as it builds to get it done fast. At the start you'll be crafting items and researching from your mech. This can be quite the power drain, but once you unlock the electromagnetic matrix, which are the glowing blue cubes, you can get a separate matrix lab to research for you by feeding it the different coloured matrix cubes. Which brings me to my next tip, stacking. At the start you can stack 2 storages or 3 matrix slabs on top of each other. Storage fills from the bottom up, so if you have any exports coming out of higher exits, they will stop when that level is depleted. For the matrix slabs, every layer will do the same thing, so if they are making cubes, all layers will. Stacking is great for saving space, and in the case of matrix slabs, consume and produce more. Be warned though, if you can't supply enough resources, not all layers will be utilised. Now when it comes to research, the tree is massive, but there is also a second page with upgrades for your mech, and below that, optimization upgrades for the mid to late game. Upgrading your mech is a must, from faster walking, to flight, bigger power storage and generation, to more construction drones, so don't forget about these as you go. Further in the game you get 2 very useful buildings, and players are getting confused with them. First is the Logistic Station, which is part of the planetary logistics research. Many people think you can send and receive resources to and from another planet. It does not. This will ship your resources around your current planet with its drones, to other stations that you have set up. Great if you have specific sites with a lot of materials or placement for railguns and launch sites. Its bigger brother, however, the Interstellar Logistics Station, can ship your goods to another planet. This planet should also have its own Interstellar Logistics Station. Which reminds me, don't forget to build and assign logistic vessels to the building either, or no trade will happen. You will notice this building also does what its little brother can too, and thus can have logistics drones as well. One last important note on these buildings: to get anything out of them, there is a small filter at the bottom of the building, where you must assign outputs. This is different from all the other buildings, so it's easily missed. There you go, 12 great tips to get you going in Dyson Sphere Program. Please do share and subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenator, out.